think about this for a second. When was the last time that there was like a very big innovation in the FPS genre? And no, I'm not talking about skins. I'm not talking about small mechanics within games, switching up a genre just slightly so it's different from the last thing. Not that. When was the last really big innovation? Battle Royales. That was the last one. I'm sitting here thinking, trying to think of something. What came out that was completely different from every other FPS game that just took the world by storm? I can't think of anything besides the last few giant battle royales like PUBG and Fortnite and Warzone. But by the time Warzone came out, I was fed up with battle royales. The last battle royale that I played that I enjoyed was Apex Legends, which still to this day is a pretty well-crafted game, and they did a very good job with it. But the thing I'm talking about here is innovation. There has been no innovation in the FPS genre for fucking forever. It's like the success of PUBG completely ruined the entire market. And FPS games before PUBG were really just kind of all over the place. Like PUBG itself, it actually stemmed from DayZ. It was originally just kind of a mod of DayZ. And then there was H1Z1, and then there was PUBG. And PUBG was made by the creator of the original DayZ mod that was a battle royale. DayZ, very innovative, very cool, and actually still a pretty cool game to play to this day. A giant open world survival game. Think back to even the first shooters. What were they? Like Doom, Wolfenstein 3D, Quake. All of these games were like extremely unique and were just a creative outlet for game developers. They weren't a cash grab. They weren't a big developer that was just trying to think of what's the next big thing. It was a entirely creative pursuit. But I feel like we've lost that. Battle Royales got so big that everything came after that, and to this day is expected to be a battle royale. Just look at with Battlefield 6. I know this topic has been beaten to death, but there's a lot of people that played Battlefield 6 and said, I can't wait for the battle royale.
I'm having a blast, and I think ultimately too, it's getting us excited for what potentially battle royale could be for this game.
I know a lot of people like battle royales. That's very obvious to me, but not everyone does. In fact, there's a very large group of people who hate battle royales, myself included. But I love FPS games and I love playing new things. I love creativity. Escape from Tarkov. That's another really good example. Although today it's arguably not the best FPS game. It's been completely destroyed to the point to where it's just so annoying to play that it's just fucking ball torture made into a video game. But for what it is, it was very innovative. It was the first extraction shooter. It had realistic gun mechanics. Even back in the day with Call of Duty, people always said that every Call of Duty game is the same. But like, think about like the Modern Warfare series, not the new one, the original Modern Warfare series. When like COD 4 Modern Warfare came out, that shit was like super innovative. And then Modern Warfare 2 on top of that was just innovating on the innovation. They added more kill streaks. They added tons of weapons and attachments, and they added a ton more perks. Battlefield was innovating with their giant large-scale open maps. No one at the time was really doing that. Counter-Strike was still doing its thing. I wasn't a PC player back then, but it was still up and coming. And by 2013, when CSGO released, it became huge. Maybe the issue with FPS games is that for them to be good, because they're inherently multiplayer, a large number of people kind of have to be playing them. Single player games, co-op games, party games, things like that don't necessarily need like a large number of people playing them at one time. But FPS games have to have a large number of people playing them at one time. And when the FPS genre got to the size that it is now, and these developers and publishers got as big as they are now, these games overshadow other FPS games so hard that these smaller communities don't really have much of a chance to grow. FOMO definitely plays a pretty huge part in this as well. I've even felt it myself. Not as much anymore, but around the time when I stopped playing Call of Duty, I started feeling some FOMO. The last Call of Duty I purchased was Cold War. After that, was that the Modern Warfare 2, like not, you know, the newer Modern Warfare 2. I think I can't even remember. I don't even care at this point. But when the new CODs would come out, the first couple years, I felt this feeling of like I'm missing out on something. I started playing a lot of Battlefield 4 again at the time, and it has a community, but it's still a relatively small community. But I had this sort of feeling like, what am I competing for here? It's not a single player game where you're just competing with yourself and you're experiencing a story, or you're just kind of having fun with the gameplay. You are trying to win, but when the people that you're trying to win against is the same people every single day, it doesn't feel special or like it really matters in a way. If you go play Counter-Strike and you do well in a Counter-Strike game, well, there's millions of people playing Counter-Strike. You feel more accomplished and it feels like it actually means something. So with multiplayer games, especially competitive multiplayer games, the games at the top just continue to get bigger, and people play them and don't necessarily even enjoy the time that they're playing them. I remember towards the end of my days of playing Call of Duty, every time that I would log into Call of Duty and get into a match and try to quickscope people, that's what I was doing at the time, I had no fun at all. It was just like, I am just doing this because this is what I've always done, and other people I know do this, and I hop in party chat. I talk to the same guys every day. We always play Call of Duty. It's just what I did. And then I realized I don't even enjoy this anymore. I get nothing out of this. Why am I even playing this in the first place? I don't think I really have much of a solution for this, but it's something that I've been thinking about for quite a long time. All right, so everyone knows about indie games. Games made by just like a few people or even one person sometimes. When's the last time you heard of an indie FPS game? Roblox? That was probably the last one. Even that was really just Battlefield Light. They did what another developer already did, but they just kind of made a bare bones, simple gameplay only kind of version of that. And even then, when they made BattleBit, the developers, as soon as the game popped off, they just kind of took the money and ran. They didn't continue to innovate at all because they got a sweet taste of that FPS money. I am a little drunk, by the way. Cheers. I found that every time that I record one of these commentary videos, or even a lot of times when I'm streaming, it's usually after I've drank a little bit. I got a lot to say, buddy. But I'm just tired of every FPS game that comes out just being mid as I want to experience, I didn't get to experience the DayZs, the PUBGs, those big, like, you know, Steam computer only FPS kind of games. I didn't get to experience Counter-Strike when it came out. I was a console noob and I'm fucking jealous. Honestly, that's what it is. I want something big like that again. And there hasn't been anything that stands out. I mean, I guess with Battlefield 6, I'm hoping that's what that would be, but they didn't exactly innovate on anything. It's just getting back to not being dog. Every FPS game that comes out is just bad or mid. Like I said, nothing's like really fun to play anymore. And a lot of these games have just completely lost sight of what made them good in the first place. Battlefield 6 is just a return to form. I can still go play Battlefield 4 and it just kind of feels like they're going back to that again, which is great because I really enjoy Battlefield 4 and I miss that modern style of Battlefield, but it's still not really anything new. I don't know how these companies don't learn any lessons from their failures at all. They have these massive games expecting them to take over the world, spending hundreds of millions of dollars on them, and it's just a fart in the wind. Nothing special. They sell some copies, but nothing too crazy. They're all trying to be the next Fortnite, the next PUBG, the next Counter-Strike. They're all trying to be that, but just by copying each other. When are they going to realize that the entire reason why these games got big in the first place is because they did something different? I've never actually legitimately gotten mad recording one of these videos, but I'm getting pissed off right now. God damn it. Putting some eye drops in too. Oh, they're crying, you're crying. How do you have hundreds of millions of dollars to go towards research and development and you can't even listen to the people that play the game? The people that play the games are your audience. They're the people that buy the games. Why don't you listen to them? It doesn't even it makes no sense. They're just constantly gaslighting themselves 24/7 to thinking that they're just brilliant and have the best ideas We don't need to listen to our audience. We know what's best for our audience. What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you know better than us? We're the ones playing the game every day. I have thousands of hours in FPS games. Why would I not know what's a good FPS game? Why would all the people that have thousands of hours, all of my friends that play FPS games every day, why would they not know what's good for FPS games? Why would a corporate executive that's, touched 3 of them in the past 20 years, how would they possibly know what's good for the FPS genre? They don't play them. And that's a completely separate issue. A lot of these developers, the actual developers, I feel like they want to make something new, but they can't. If they want to be the next big thing, they have to get a publisher. Because like I said, who the plays indie FPS games anymore? So they go to these publishers, and then the publishers say, all right, if you want that paycheck, you better do what we say. But the publishers, they have no idea what they're doing. The only thing they know is making money. When it comes to making FPS games, they have no fucking clue what they're doing at all, even remotely. They're not in there making the game. They're not playing games. They're not talking to their audiences. They're there just to make money. That's it. Why are these people the ones deciding what games get made? It doesn't even make sense. It's like how Netflix treats comedians. A lot of comedians have talked about this, where Netflix is great because they don't care about the offensive stuff. They don't care about the direction of their comedy specials. They just say, hey, what do you got? Oh, that's what you got? All right, cool. Sounds good. Let's put it out there. That's because they trust the artists. This is the second time I've said this in a video now. Video games are art. You can't just buy creativity. It doesn't work like that. You have to let artists be artists. That's the whole point of it. It seems like with Battlefield 6, the publisher, EA, said to DICE, okay, just go back to what you used to make. Make something like you used to make and just make it good. We'll be hands off. Just make something like that and we'll be good. And they did, and it's great. But they're only kind of returning to form rather than innovating. They're not copying everything. They're not trying to be, Battlefield 2042 was trying to be like a mixture of a hero shooter and a Battlefield game. That didn't work. They're trying a Battle Royale again. They've tried it twice in the past. Both of those times it didn't work. So they're just kind of returning to form, but at least, I guess, they're not trying to just copy everybody else. But we need some creativity. We need some innovation. Why can't the publishers let the developers cook? If you want to be the next Fortnite, the next PUBG, the next Counter-Strike, you have to let innovation happen. And it's going to fail sometimes, but guess what? Copying everybody else fails most of the time. Look at Concord. That's like one of the best examples of the biggest disaster in like FPS game history. $400 million, nothing in return at all. Zero innovation, just kind of a weird PR sort of game, just trying to appease to the woke crowd. Bland gameplay. Why would you think that would ever work? I don't understand. I don't understand how they can't see that the entire point of a game is just to have fun. These weird engagement metrics, these sort of things, that means absolutely nothing. There's a lot of really good games out there that people have spent like almost no time on, and that's fine. I think Session is great. It's a skateboarding game, but do you think I'm just sitting there playing Session for fucking 12 hours a day? No, of course not. But I love the game and I play it all the time, but it doesn't mean I play it for X amount of hours in a row. It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't need to be like that. The retention metrics mean absolutely nothing. If the game's dog, their gaming sessions will be longer, but they're probably not going to buy it the next time. The next time there's another Call of Duty, sure, maybe this one they kept playing it and they got these retention metrics because they had their battle passes and their double XP and that sort of thing. Sure, yeah, sure, they're playing now, but they're not going to play later. It doesn't mean anything if the game's not good. Cheers, by the way. I just wish we had a video game publisher that was like Netflix, that just kind of let the developers do their thing. Let them make art. Let them be good at what they do. If you want to be the next PUBG, Fortnite, Counter-Strike, the next giant FPS game, then shut the fuck up. Stay out of it. And if you're a developer watching this, get creative. Try something new. Be different. Don't be different for the sake of being different. Be creative. Do what feels right. What feels like something that you want to play. what something else, what other people want to play. Make something that feels fun. That's it. That's all we care about. Add little Easter eggs in there. Add things that people don't expect. Put twists into the game. Be creative. Do something different. I don't really have much else to say besides that. This is just a angry rant from me. I don't even know if anybody's going to give a shit about this, but I do. I care. And I'm tired of seeing battle royales. That's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon with another drunken rant or whatever. Thanks. Bye.